I'm really good at just being in the right place at the right time.
You have staying power, Josh. It's because you don't like to move a lot. Because you're very sedentary. That could be it.
Look, I know
You're like a lump in many ways. A growth.
This is true.
Benign.
He's benign.
Oh, Steve didn't even see it.
Stevo missed it completely.
Oh, boo. What did I miss?
Show him, Josh. He asked for it.
Oh, no. Let's never speak of it again.
And welcome to episode 23 of Rather Be Playing, the podcast where we talk about how we'd rather be playing games than buying another fucking PS3 because you lost it in your move. Yeah. I'm Josh.
I'm Elliot.
And I'm Stevo.
And yeah, so I'm irritated because...
You never found it?
I did not ever... I did not ever.
They're
I
so
never
tiny
fucking downed the damn thing.
They're easy to lose. It happens.
Was it a Slim that you lost in the first place?
I had my PS3 and my PS2 in the same, like, relatively tiny box, and somehow in this move, I never found it. I've looked all over the goddamn place, and so a couple weeks ago, I was down in Portland, and there was a GameStop nearby that had a refurbished PS3 in stock, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna get one." So,
good work.
Yeah. Wow. I made the GameStop clerk happy because it's refurbished. I was like, yeah, give me the warranty for a year. So, I mean, it was only $20. The PS3 itself was like 120. So I figured what I'd seen on Craigslist and things like that, 120 was actually pretty comparable to what I'd seen nearby. So I wasn't that worried, but I was like, all right, well, 20 more bucks to, have a warranty. And the warranty is basically like you can sneeze on it and it breaks and we'll fix it. Or get you a new one. So I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. Let's go with that. So I made a GameStop employee happy, and I have a PS3 again, so I'm happy too.
That's a beautiful
win.
story.
That's a win.
Exactly.
Is it a slim or a super slim or a old fat?
No, it's the slim, the middle slim.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 160 gigabyte one, so no backwards compatibility.
I had to buy a second PS3, so don't feel too bad about it. I think we all pretty much have to at some point if we got one at launch.
Well, this is technically my third one because I had a fat one. And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had a fat one. I can't remember what the initial specs were. I think it might have had 60 gig. I don't know. I can't remember.
There was 60 and 20 at launch, and then there was 80.
Yeah, so maybe I got I might have had a 60 or an 80 because the time I actually bought the PS3 was when Kmart of all places had there was a Black Friday coupon that was being spread over the internet where you got I don't know, it might have been 50% off. I can't remember how much it was, but it was 50% off anything in the store. And there were no restrictions. So I was able to go to Kmart. This was back in, God, this had to have been 2007, 2008. And I honestly can't remember what the percentage was, but I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I grabbed that coupon offline, went to Kmart and was like, yeah, here, give me a PS3 for, $150 off or whatever it was. So I grabbed it.
No way.
So yeah, so I don't remember ever having a backwards compatible one. So it might have been the 80 gig one that did not have backwards compatibility because again, I feel like I would have remembered that. But I mean, I am kind of pissed off that I don't have my PS2 anymore, but I do have a computer that can run PCSX2 games and I have a bunch of discs. So I can always emulate the PS2 games and stream.
Yeah,
my PC.
you bought them. In fairness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's nothing. There's no illegality as far as the games that I actually have. It's just a matter of the system I'm playing them on. In which case, again, I have a PC. I have a Steam Link. I can figure this shit out. So.
And you've actually been playing the PS3 since you bought the new one. What have you been playing on it?
Well, so for the first, so I bought it when I was in Portland for work. And I was sitting in a hotel room, and as many people may know, hotel room Wi-Fi is not necessarily, like the fastest goddamn thing you've ever seen. But I managed to download a lot of games that I've one beaten and two wanted to beat. So I have Mega Man 9 and 10, which I've both beaten, which I both love. But I also have a bunch of games I did not finish, such as Drakengard 3, Dragon's Dogma, and Okami HD.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma is one that has almost convinced me to go back and buy a PS3 again. My only problem is I hate the 6-axis. It's too small for my gigantic hands.
But Dragon's Dogma is on Steam.
I guess I could get it on there, but I would want to wait for for it to drop in price for a Steam sales or something. What's the kind of bonus version of it? What's the Game of the Year version called?
Oh, Dark Arisen.
Arisen.
That's the vision. Yeah. That's the version that's on Steam. So it's not like you're losing anything by getting it on Steam.
It's the only one.
For me, it was more a matter of, and honestly, I think I actually have Dragon's Dogma on Steam. I'm not entirely sure, but I already owned it. I can't remember if it was via PS Plus or just by virtue of actually buying it. Well, I know, but I'm saying I can't remember if I actually bought it or
if you got it before that.
Before that, so I already got it. It was like, it's one of those games where I'll play it on PS3. As I will explain later, I'm not entirely too sensitive to things like frame rate drops and stuff like that. So, and then of course the other nice thing about it is that I've got the PS1 classics. So I've got games that I've beaten before, like Chrono Cross, Xenogears, Dino Crisis, which all three of those games I love and have already beaten. But then I also have stuff like Alundra from PS1, which is a fantastic game that I never actually finished because the last.
What is that, and how do you spell it? I can't even hear the word that you're saying.
Alundra, Alundra, Alundra. It's a Zelda type game, but like it actually has like ridiculous puzzles and stuff along the way. It's a great game. I really, really, really enjoy it, and it's really sad because there was an Alundra 2 that was fucking terrible because they were like, we're going to replace this main character named Alundra with this other red-haired dude, which has nothing to do with the series, and we're just going to have him make this be the shittiest Zelda game ever. So, the original Alundra, however, is fantastic, and I totally recommend playing it if you get a chance.
Yeah.
You've played it all the way through, and what about Dragon's Dogma? Have you beaten it?
Oh, God, no. So Alundra, I've played 95% of it. The last thing I needed to do was to beat the boss, and I just never actually got around to beating the boss.
Yep.
Dragon's Dogma, I've played, I don't know, a couple hours of it, give or take. It's a good game. I think it just came out at a time when I was playing a lot of other stuff. I think that was the time around when I really got into Demon Souls and started beating that game.
Yeah. So, I feel like that was the contrast. That was kind of why Dragon's Dogma didn't get the press that supposedly, if you believe a lot of reviewers, it should have got.
It really didn't get a lot of press as far. I mean, it did, but it didn't. Like, a lot of people were praising it, but the thing is I feel like it got washed out in the sea of other games.
Yeah, definitely, because Dark Souls was a phenomenon, whereas Dragon's Dogma was just meant to be a really, really good game that was similar in style and tone in a few ways, I think.
Yeah, that was my understanding, because even the title is so generic. It's one of those things that just kind of comes and goes, like, oh, Capcom. And then you hear about it years later and people are like, it's actually one of the best RPGs I've ever played, and everyone should play it. And like, I've been reading that a lot about Titanfall 2 as well. Like, it flew under a lot of radars because Titanfall 1 was meh. And I've just seen a lot of people say that Titanfall 2 is the best, or one of the best single player campaigns they've ever played.
Well, I've added Dragon's Dogma to my Steam wishlist, and neither of you picked up Titanfall 2, did you? Was it just me?
No. Yeah, no, I did not. But I mean, like, I'm looking at the wiki right now, and like Dragon's Dogma came out in May of 2012, and like literally a week before it, Diablo 3 came out, Max Payne 3 came out, Soul Sacrifice on Vita came out, Minecraft came out on Xbox. So yeah, it's one of those games where like I feel like a lot of people would have enjoyed it a lot more. Not necessarily they would have enjoyed it so much. They would have paid it more attention had it not been released in the midst of all these other massive games.
Definitely. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But
add that to your potential backlog roulette there, Stevo.
Dragon's Dogma?
Yeah.
We would have to play it on a PS3, and I would
That's
either
it.
have to pick up another PS3 because I gave mine to a friend of the show, Mike from Pod Ready.
Mike.
So I would either have to pick up one of those, or I'll have to wait for it on a sale. And since I still have a bit of Steam dollars, I could pick it up on a Steam sale at some point.
That's true. I didn't. Yeah, I forgot.
Did it not get re-released? Well, while I look that up, but I mean, so yeah, I have the PS3. And again, I started downloading myself, but the main ones that I've started playing again were I started playing Drakengard 3, which is a PS3 game.
So what is that? I've never heard of it ever in my life before.
So Drakengard 3 is obviously the third in the Drakengard series. Drakengard 1 and 2. I don't know.
It's actually the fifth.
So Drakengard 1 and 2 were released on PS2. It's the same general series that the Nier games are in. So Nier and Nier Automata. Nier, however...
Wait. Same like universe as Nier?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so something that's been very prevalent with the Nier games as well as the Drakengard games is that there are multiple endings. And, sometimes they're more like acts rather than endings. Like you finish the game Act A and then see Act B and then see the end of Act C all the way up to Act E. And sometimes it's more like, here are all these branching paths. Here's branch A, branch B, branch C, whatever. In Drakengard Route E, or the ending E, that leads into Nier. Like the original Nier. Yeah, so that's how they're connected. I honestly cannot remember if Drakengard 3 is a prequel or not, but I feel like it is.
Holy shit.
So why haven't we heard of these games? Were they not reviewed?
Oh, it's because they're very... Yeah, so Drakengard 3 is a prequel to Drakengard 1 and 2. So it's because, they're very niche. Drakengard 1 and 2, and I'll get to 3 in a minute, but...
Are they action RPGs? Are they...
Well, yeah, yes and
More or
no.
less.
Yes and no. So, 1 and 2...
Yes and no tells me nothing. Tell me what it is if it isn't that.
So, you go through levels. Like, you have a beginning of the level. It's like a hack and slash. You kill everything. You gain experience points. You fight a boss at the end. You collect items. And then the level ends. And you kind of collect what you've earned and then upgrade weapons. Move along.
Is there cutscenes in between? Is it kind of like Valkyria Chronicles? Is there little videos?
Yeah, kind of.
There's
there's an overarching story, and in Nier and Nier Automata's fashion, they're very fucked up. They're not like, oh yeah, this is a very happy game. I'm really glad I bought this. I can play this with my kids. None of these games are like that. They're all warped, and the protagonist is not necessarily a great fucking person. You're just kind of following along as he or she, causes chaos throughout the world. Drakengard 3 continues that progression in the sense that you play as Zero, who is one of 6 what they call intoners, which are these sisters that kind of like run the world. And her entire goal is to kill her sisters 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I've killed 5 and 4 so far. I'm working on the other ones. And you have a dragon with you named Mikhail, who is like this. He's like this naive, like, I've just been born. What are all these things? Sort of perspective you have of the game, which is kind of refreshing because when Zero and any other henchman she runs into talks, it's all about sex. So, I wasn't
expecting that.
Wow.
Oh no, I know you weren't. But that's what it is. So Yoko Taro, the director of the Nier and Drakengard games, he's fucked up, but it's like an appreciative fucked up. I like playing his games because they're so warped and out of the ordinary, and you just do not see anything like this ever anywhere else.
Yep.
And like, so for instance, the first one you go fight in Drakengard 3, you go fight your sister 5. She's obsessed with sex. She likes to talk about her boobs, and then you finally kill her, and her little disciple named Dido cuts her in half and is a sadist and is like really, really happy to kill her because he hated being her disciple because she basically banged him to oblivion. So yeah, and now Dido is now your disciple, and there's some interesting dialogue after that. But yeah, Drakengard 3 is an interesting game. Let's just put it that way.
I think there was a bit of a classic quote from Yoko Taro recently. Actually, he was saying he's a bit broken in ways.
Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That's a good way to put it.
I can see that.
I guess this is what he was talking about.
Yeah,
but it's like one of those things where I'm like, please stay broken. I enjoy your stuff. It's like I enjoy it in like this sick. It's like watching the Saw movies. You know, it's like, wow, these movies are all about self-mutilation and sadism and things like that. But you know what? Keep it coming. I kind of need this.
Elliot needs to play Nier Automata so we can have a proper spoiler chat about it.
I know,
it's the greatest game ever.
I mean, yeah, no, but I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, but Nier Automata was like, I'm pretty sure it's like the only game of his that actually has a semi-pseudo happy ending.
Yep, actually makes a little bit of reason for optimism in there.
I hope there's a reason for it. I hope like you look back and it's like, oh, that was the first time he saw his newborn daughter smile at him, or you know, something sweet.
So Nier Automata, like I'll give you like from beginning to end. I think it's contained pretty well. So far, Drakengard 3, I'm pretty sure is just a revenge fantasy that I'm just walking along with.
Yep.
Yeah, we should tie these into main big events in his life and figure out what the hell he's responding to here. This is a catharsis for something.
Josh, that's your homework for the next podcast, for
the next episode.
Yeah, let me interview Yoko Taro, one of the most reclusive Japanese developers in existence. Sure, let me get right on that.
Oh no! This is investigative reporting. You don't have to interview him. You
want me to find out something about his mind without actually interviewing him?
Just look up his live journal. Go by date.
Hi, Yoko. I found your Tumblr. First off, there's a lot of Sonic fan fiction here. Second of all, let me talk about it. Yeah, so that's Drakengard 3. The other game I've been playing, it's a game I've beaten before, but I want to go through and back and get like the true ending of it. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne.
Okay, so you got to start from the start with SMT, because SMT is something that I've only ever seen the initials of. And I know it's in some way related to Persona games, but that's all I've got. It's Japanese and it's got a link to Persona. So explain this for the layman.
All right, so Shin Megami Tensei is a series of games that involves your protagonist somehow normally ending up in like the end of the world or after the end of the world, trying to fix the problem with that is the end of the world. And so
trying to undo the apocalypse or just trying to deal with the apocalypse?
A bit of both. So like
I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to deal with it.
It's not necessarily fixing so much as maybe you reform the new world into your own image, or maybe you.
Oh, that sounds healthy.
So yeah, it's there's usually no like, oh great, I got the ending where I revert everything back to normal. There's usually not a lot of those.
Yeah.
So Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2 are both on the Super NES or Super Famicom, because they never actually came to the US. Although Shin Megami Tensei 1 is on iOS, which you can play in English.
Is it a good port, or is it one of the ones that you would tell me never go near ever?
No, it's a fine port. It's just an old game that has a lot of old mechanics, and you might, if you played new games, you might not be all that keen to play it.
It's like a direct old port.
Yeah,
okay. Good to know.
Like oh, it's a good game, but it has all the old shit that irritated me.
Yeah.
So Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne is technically Shin Megami Tensei 3. It takes place in you start playing off as like this high schooler kid who's going to meet his teacher and his friends at this hospital, and then within 30 minutes of you starting the game, the world ends. And then at this point you are now like this half demon trying to reshape the world into whatever you kind of see fit. So
okay, so is there a lot of player choice involved?
Yes and no. So it's not necessarily clear where your choices kind of come into play, but yes, there are 4 different endings based on your choices throughout the game, and there's a 5th ending that kind of overrides the other 4 if you do this one thing, which is basically going into this optional dungeon and defeating everything, which is the one I'm going for this time. Because of last time I beat the game, I got one of those 4 other endings, which was just based on me selecting shit throughout the game and getting, oh, okay, that's the one I got, I guess.
Yep.
This one's involves me basically going through, killing everything, fighting Lucifer, and becoming the demon god of the world.
Does it have a similar thing to Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden? I don't know how close they are. Where if you pick a wrong choice during certain important conversations, you can potentially end the game?
No. So, so Shin Megami Tensei games are not known for their forgiveness.
Yeah.
If you make choices throughout the game that that kind of may lock you into stuff later on. There's no social links. It is all dungeon crawling. It's all demon fusions. So in like Persona, you know how like you fuse personas in order to make your main character have extra personas to summon?
Yeah.
In
and
this
extra
case,
abilities and extra strengths and weaknesses.
Right. So in this case, though, you only have the one main character, and your other 3 party members are filled up with demons. Okay. So those are the demons you recruit. Those are the demons you fuse, and each of those 3 demons may have weaknesses or strengths depending on what you decide to have.
Oh, okay, so it's kind of like having other personas fighting alongside you, as opposed to having people and social links with personas associated. Correct.
And so, kind of, it's a fantastic game. It's hard as fucking shit, and it's great though because of that. But so what I want to kind of tell our listeners though is the first Shin Megami Tensei game I played was Digital Devil Saga, which is a very similar game, a very similar battle system. You don't have demons on your team. You have specific party members that you choose, but it kind of eases you into the systems of the game. Like if you play Nocturne first, you might not know that Agi means fire or Bufu means ice. And
I would only have known that because of Persona.
Exactly. But the thing is, like Persona 4, you played Persona 4 Golden, right?
Yep.
So Persona 4 Golden was one of the first SMT games that actually lets you look at the skills you have and tell you what they mean. mostly, except when you're doing certain things like, I can't remember if it's fusing personas, and there's at times where you're trying to combine 2 things and it won't actually tell you what the thing actually does. And maybe when you're applying card skills to a persona. Yeah.
It drove me insane because I would always forget what that one meant.
Okay, but my point is like, so say I have, a demon in Nocturne. I want to check their status. Okay, I can check their status. There's their HP, there's their MP, there's a list of their skills. However, I can't select each of their skills to find out what the fuck they do.
Oh, that would drive me. Yeah, I would just give up. I would give up within minutes.
And then also one of the other things that was first added in Persona 4 Golden was when you fuse demons, you can select the skills that are transferred to the new one.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that.
In like Nocturne and other games like that, it's random. So you have to back out, select, back out, select, back out, select until you get the one you want. And I've spent hours trying to get the one that I've
doesn't sound like fun.
No, it's not. It was just a product of its time, and I don't know.
No, it's not, but I'll do it to myself. That's what I do. Well, I'm not doing this for fun.
Well, the thing is, like, I know I'm getting a better demon here, but I really want this demon to have a cure spell that I already have, and I want it to have the level 3 fire spell or whatever there. I want it to have Agi Dime. So I will back out and select, back out and select, back out and select a million times until I get at least those 2. I will like compromise on myself. I'll be like, oh my God, I can't get both of those because it's driving me crazy and random RNG is killing me. I know I can.
We get the idea of randomizing. You don't literally have to describe.
But I'm saying, like, if I don't get it within the next 10 tries, I'll just go with whatever I get. I'll like make deals with myself.
Yeah.
So, but
okay, 12 tries.
Exactly.
Time.
Yeah.
Okay, 15.
But like, it's a fantastic game. There's like very minimal story, but it's like in a good way. You don't need to really know a whole lot of what's going on. All that really matters is that you're half demon. The world is your oyster. Go. And
so there's not a lot of chasing around, making sure you talk to this person first and then that person next. And
not at all.
You know what I'm like in terms of game direction. I found that a little bit frustrating in Persona. I was happy enough to do it and occasionally take a little look at a walkthrough if there was something I wanted to make sure I wouldn't miss. But in general, I would much prefer a more straightforward story that kind of guides me along as opposed to me having to go look.
Yeah, no, Nocturne is basically, all right, I'm going to go through this dungeon. Someone talks to me about stuff. They mention something, and I go to the next dungeon. I could finish that dungeon. I go back to the town. Maybe I have to talk to a specific NPC in the town that directs me to the right place. But other than that, no, it's very straightforward. It's all a matter of being prepared for battles, with weaknesses and strength. And I get.
Has it got permadeath? Is it a very challenging game in general?
I mean, it's not. I don't think permadeath's the right word you're looking for. I mean, if you die, you just go back to your save point. But yeah, if the main character dies, you die. So you have to. But the thing is like, so you didn't understand. You don't know what this is because you haven't played one of these games. So the Persona system, you know how they had the one more system, like if you exploit a weakness, you get another turn.
Yep.
So in the Nocturne game and the Digital Devil Saga games, they have what is known as the press turn system, which is you have one turn for every person in your party or every demon or whatever in your party. So if I have the main character plus 3 demons, I have 4 turns, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay. If I exploit a weakness, I only use half a turn. If I get a critical, I only use half a turn. And that half a turn you can use basically as a full turn later. If I miss or if I hit an enemy that nullifies the element I use, like say I throw a fire spell at an enemy that nullifies fire, I lose an extra turn.
Oh, Jesus.
And if I use a spell that like an enemy absorbs or repels, I lose all my turns. And but the same thing works for the enemy. So if you're fighting a bunch of guys that use electric spells, for instance.
Yeah, get something that can repel those, and then you're going to dominate.
And the enemy loses all their turns. So it's all a matter of preparation and learning from your skills. So
sounds horrible. Walking into a fight, getting your ass kicked, going back to the start of a dungeon or the floor or whatever.
Wait,
and then
wait,
do it all again.
Stevo, did you beat Dark Souls?
I did, yes.
Okay. So you're used to going back to the beginning when you fuck up.
But I don't like it. I'm
not saying that you like it. You've done it before, so you know what I'm talking about.
Dark Souls was a phenomenon, and when I started playing it, I found the hook. I understood the hook. But Persona 4, I understood the hook. But what kept me playing it was the social links and the friends stories, and as well just having to like get to the end of this huge epic game that's over 100 hours long.
So that's kind of why I think you might enjoy and why I recommend playing Digital Devil Saga first. It's a 2-part game. There's Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2. It's really only half a game if you play.
And you think I'd like it because of story?
Yeah, there's a lot more of the story to that game.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, you play as a three character party rather than recruiting demons. So you have well, I guess you have more than.
But you would suggest I print out a cheat sheet because otherwise it would be impossible for me, basically.
Not necessarily. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're really desperate, you can like print out a list of like, okay, these are the demons in this dungeon.
No. I meant for the things that don't have descriptions in the way the Persona had descriptions.
Oh, yeah. If there's, I mean, again, it's very similar to Persona, like Agi, Bufu, Dia. They're all the same as Persona. So if you saw them in Persona, they do the same thing in Digital Devil Saga. There might be some slight differences here and there. So if you want to go with that, that's fine. But yeah.
Something tells me I'm still not going to play these games, John.
Probably not. I'm just saying, if you're gonna go down the Shin Megami Tensei realm, Digital Devil Saga is a good opening spot.
Or I could always just wait till the next one presumably comes out and Switch. Am I right?
Yeah. It'll be a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is supposed to be a Switch exclusive. I still need to beat Apocalypse. I actually finally pulled out my 3DS, and I was like, fuck, I haven't played this in like a year. I need to restart it.
I played about 10 minutes of Nocturne years ago, and I think it was actually your brother's copy, Josh, that he gave me.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
It came out as a PS2 classic after that, so if he needs it back, it's all his.
I'll let him know. I forgot about that.
But yeah,
like Shin Megami Tensei 4 uses the same like press turn system. There's some slight differences to it, as far as like criticals go, but the way like the difficulty curve with Shin Megami Tensei 4 is insane. Like the first 4 hours or whatever in the first dungeon, it's fucking ridiculous. You will die many, many times.
And
once you finally get out of that dungeon, though, it's easy. It's easy. It's like you will be fine. I mean, as long as you pay attention to like the rules we've been talking about with like Persona and whatnot, you'll be fine. It's just that first dungeon is insane.
Wow. That's weird.
Apocalypse, from what I hear, is actually a little bit more balanced. Again, I've only played a couple hours, and again, it's been a long time, so I probably need to go back and restart the goddamn thing. But yeah, that's what I've seen.
They can't like patch that? Like, I feel like it's just a dumb oversight there. It's kind of weird. But
I almost feel like it's Atlas going, yeah, this is Shin Megami Tensei, bitch. Enjoy. And then
it's supposed to be hard.
Exactly.
So did you play anything that didn't sound like it would cause me physical harm?
Well, that depends. I've been playing Observer, and I'm not really enjoying it.
That did cause me physical harm. It made me feel nauseous. I couldn't find my way out of that stupid room with the television.
So, I mean, I've gotten further than both of you guys because you're terrible. But I mean, I'm just not enjoying it. It's like I honestly can't remember if I said this like offhandedly or if it was during the episode 2 episodes ago or not. But like. I listened to Rutger Hauer and I'm like, oh, holy shit, it's Rutger Hauer. And then like 2 seconds later, I realize, oh, right, it's Rutger Hauer. He's just getting a paycheck. No one cares.
Yeah. He sounds phoned in.
But like, I'm just like, I did some deep dives. I actually got to the point where you can actually die in the game.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a point where there were like people can like these. You deep dive into a mind, and if you don't stealth around these enemies and they come across you, you die or lose or whatever.
Is it fun? Is it more fun than the other mind invading parts that we played?
It's fine, I guess. I don't mind stealth. Stealth is fine, and the stealth in this game, it's fine too. Yeah. I honestly just didn't realize it was happening. So the very first thing I did was I was like, oh hey, a person, let me go talk to him, and they killed me. So
yep.
But like I've moved forward. I've deep dived into more people. I've talked to more people. It's just not fucking interesting. I'm not enjoying it.
What do people get? Like, what do they see in it? What was supposed to be so good about it?
I think it was meant to be a really good story, and there's so few good cyberpunk stories out there.
I mean, I can see why people liked it. Maybe it's more of a like. When you get to, like a Final Fantasy 13 type thing, just play like 5 hours and you'll enjoy it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I just, so far, I'm just like, it's fine. I just don't feel like moving on. It's nothing is going back to me in my back of my mind going, Josh, you should go back and finish that.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
I got to finish this. Yeah.
Yep. Fair play. I can hold my hands up and say, mightn't have been the best choice for us since we all found it didn't really grip us.
Look, Stevo, you just got to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. I got you Chrono Trigger and Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country's awesome. I don't care what you say, Stevo. God damn it.
I'm about halfway through it. I could probably beat it if I set my mind to.
Donkey Kong Country 2's better, but Donkey Kong Country 1's the only one on this SNES Classic, so yeah. So I mean, that's what I've played. Again, we could talk about Observer further on, but I mean, Elliot, how about you? What have you played in the meantime?
Yeah, I played Observer as well. I didn't I'm stuck in the same room as Stevo from like the last episode when we talked about it. I have no real updates, and it's.
I explained to you guys how to get out of that damn.
I know, and we couldn't even feel the motivation to go back and do it once you told us.
I guess that just tells you how good the game is.
I'm going to make an effort at some point. I'm actually going to play this game through and come back and tell you whether it's good or not.
Oh no, it's one of those ones where I feel like at some point I'll be like, oh yeah, Observer. I'm a third way through that. Maybe I'll finish it, but it's just not one of those things. I'm like, backlog roulette. Fuck it. I gotta finish this right now. Nothing is motivating me to do that. So totally. Yeah.
So, Elliot, what did you play instead?
All right, I feel like we need to make this a little brighter. It's kind of been a dismal series of games here. So I played a few games. I didn't finish anything. I just kind of like.
Don't be negative. Start again. just
all I
did
was nothing. No, so I went to I'm going to a friend's house, and I've been taking my Switch over because he also has a Switch.
Oh, cool.
And I just like pop it into his cradle, and we've been I think we've only done it twice now, but we've been like slowly chipping away, like him and his wife and me and Amy through Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime.
Oh wow, 4 of you playing it at once.
Yeah,
man,
which is
fun.
Absolutely amazing. You've played it, right?
Yeah, so it's the circular. You're playing on a 2D platform, almost platformer style. It's a circular ship that you're flying about in space, and you each control tiny little stickmen almost who run about in different parts of the circle to different controls that do different functions for the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
But if there's 4 of you doing that, because I remember when myself and Nisha played a little bit of it, there was like shields, and there was a shield and a gun. There was controlling where the ship actually went, and there might have been a couple of other things, but I can't remember. If there's 4 people playing it, is there more functions than there are people?
Yeah,
that you have to do.
Yeah,
so you still have to run
like
about the ship.
I imagine. I've never played it, but I imagine
functions.
it would have to be because it wouldn't be as frenetic if it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't realize that I've never played with less than 4 people, so I didn't realize that the functions changed. But there's one that's the pilot. There's one that does the shields. There's and I think there's like 3 or 4 different guns.
Yeah.
And you have 2 people on 2 of the guns, and sometimes you have to switch to other positions. And there's a map, like you can go and like someone can jump off and like go into the map room to see where you have to go next.
Cool.
Shit. What else is there? That might be about everything. And yeah, so you're just working together. It's like this cooperative. You're all just trying to steer this ship, and you've got enemies shooting at you that you have to shoot or block with the shield by like just literally moving it around the outer hull of the circular ship.
Yep.
You have
it's a game I've really wanted Lily to play with me, but just hasn't really happened because she hates games. So.
You got to convince her and the kids as well. If 4 of you could play it at once, it'd be a lot of fun.
It's so fun.
Do you need a controller for each person?
Yes.
Okay, I've got 3, so I might have to figure out then. But yeah, it's sound well. Also, I can't buy games because
you can buy a controller.
Oh, you don't have.
I can buy a controller, but I don't have the damn game, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh wait, but
That's
we could
key.
pick it up for you for a couple of bucks on Steam at some point.
Yeah, instead of
if you ask nicely, Josh.
I mean, wait,
or don't. Anyway, Elliot, tell us more about the game.
But my point is, like, Steam, I can't do 4 controllers.
You can buy controllers yourself, but then we'd buy your game.
No, but I mean, I would need I would need more than just the one controller because I was referring to PS4 in the sense that I have 3 PS4 controllers. I guess I have one 360 and I have one Xbox One controller, but at some point I do not have enough for this.
You could get it on Switch or Steam as well.
That's what I meant for Steam.
Oh, okay. Well,
but for Steam, you could use 3 PS4 controllers and you could use one Xbox One controller.
True.
Well, no, that requires me to have more than one Bluetooth adapter for my PC, which I only have one.
No,
just use a USB cord. That's all I use.
Oh, I guess I could then. It's just it's awkward. But okay, yeah. Okay, all right, go ahead. Yeah.
Not getting around this one. You will play.
I don't have the game.
FaceTime with your family. So it's a lot of fun. So I think we've done 2 playthroughs, not 2 playthroughs, but two like sessions of it. And it's definitely our go-to. We used to play Overcooked. That was where we started off with, but that gets too hard too fast. So Lovers has been a really good, like approachable, doable game for all of us to kind of work at. Like the people who like me and him are a little more versed in games. So we tend to either be like the pilot or do the shields. And then like the wives will just like point and shoot. And it works out really well.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's one of the games that I bought and just like months ago and just never played it because I was like, I want to get in a room full of people. And it's, if you guys haven't played it, it's a great group activity for even people who don't play games much. Highly recommended that.
Stevo, what about you?
Games wise, what have I been playing? Has Elliot exhausted his trove? Anything else you've been playing?
I can tap one more that will segue into yours.
Do it.
I've been playing a lot of, like, I can't seem to get into any single player games right now. So I've been playing a lot of Rocket League. And when I get tired of that, I've been playing a lot of Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Which I don't play. I haven't played too much too frequently for a while now. And I'm kind of, my driving force here is to get up to level 10. Because once you get up to level 10, like all the rest of the stages and game modes unlock. So
cool. Is it kind of like a competitive mode almost?
Yeah, so there's like, what is it called? There's the ranked battle stages.
Yeah.
And it's a different, it's not just turf war anymore. Like there's other
game
objectives
modes.
and modes. And it's, I'm hoping that maybe there's more like multiplayer options there as far as getting and staying in the same group.
It actually has a co-op mode as well, doesn't it? The salmon run thing? Or is that only
salmon run.
Is that only on certain times, or is that running all the time?
I've never tried it because I always get on just by myself, but
yeah, we should give it a go if it's possible.
Yeah,
you know my big gripes with Splatoon 2 multiplayer. Why can't you switch loadouts mid-game? And as well as that, if we're playing as a party, we should always be in the same team. Yeah, we should be able to get better based on your friends, how good your friends are at playing certain roles. It just, until they fix those two things, I'm kind of not interested in playing it multiplayer.
Yeah, they do it by design. So we need to get 2 more people with Splatoon, and then you're fine. Then you're on the same team all the time. You just can't do less than 4.
Yep.
Just such a pain.
Did Josh ever actually pick up Splatoon 2?
No, pretty sure he didn't.
We're going to have to convince him to pick it up at some point too, I think. But yeah, so I haven't really played in multiplayer at all, but I've been playing through some of the single player levels, and it's a really interesting game. It's not a story really, is it? It's almost
not much.
It's almost like a series of obstacle courses.
Yeah.
There's enemies running around. Josh, did you pick up Splatoon 2?
No, I didn't. It's one of those games where I'm like, I feel like I'd probably really enjoy it. I just feel like I'd get sucked into the multiplayer and I would not play anything else.
Yeah, I can see that. I've got friends, when I look at their their profiles on their Switch, multiple people with Splatoon over 300 hours.
Wow.
It's like the only game they play.
No way.
Nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I just found it quite hard. I'm hoping that the whole point of the single player side of things and the whole point of it being structured as these kind of, obstacle courses, as I call them, is that it's trying to teach you how to use different weapons. So that's one of the things that they introduce in the story. There's another character asking you, can you try out this weapon in this obstacle course? Can you try out this? And I do feel like I'm getting slightly better. One of the things that I feel like I'll never get better at is the motion controse.
Oh, really?
Fuck that. I hate motion controls. Fuck it.
But it's kind of, what else has this? What other games have mostly controlled by the analog sticks, but just the slight tweaking? Oh, Zelda, of course. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but I disabled that shit immediately, though.
Did you?
Oh, it's so good with it, though.
Everyone says it's so good, and I understand it does make sense for minor adjustments, for like fine-tune aiming. It makes sense that it would be better, but I can't for the life of me get good at it, and I'm keeping it switched on. I'm telling myself I need to be able to do it like this, because eventually when I do get to playing multiplayer, it will help me, it will benefit me. But right now it's just, I'm making the shit harder for myself and wondering, is it worth it?
So my experience was more like, I didn't realize I was using it. Like, it just kind of, you're aiming to get your target, and then like you shift your body or your hands a little bit to get a little, to kind of invoke that, and then not really realizing that the motion control is actually guiding it further in. And it to me, it just seems more like a natural, like instinctive.
I would ask you, did you play it mostly on full screen mode? Did you play it on the TV with the Pro controller?
Always.
Okay.
I turn off motion controls for handheld.
So that is what. So I've basically only been playing it in handheld mode. And the reason I've been doing that is because I finished up Mario and Rabbids. I'm still jumping into Mario and Rabbids here and there just to do the challenges. I've done. I've 100%ed the first 2 worlds, if you believe that.
God damn! Wow.
Yeah.
Good work.
And so I have to go back and do the World 3 and World 4. But for my lazy day games, for lying on a sofa when I can't even be arsed switching on a console on the TV, or when I want to play something in bed for a half hour, an hour before going to bed, I've been playing Splatoon 2 just recently. So I have been playing it completely in tablet or in handheld mode, and the motion controls are still on by default.
You can set them so that they're one way on handheld and one way on TV.
So you would recommend turning it off on handheld?
Because when I play handheld, it's half the time like laying in bed, and I'm not gonna like, move around too much to aim that way.
Yeah,
so.
that makes sense. Maybe I will switch it off, and maybe as well, since I haven't been playing it at all in TV mode, maybe I will go and play it a bit with the Pro controller. And I'm sure just from having used it in handheld mode, I'm sure I will be way better with the Pro controller.
I think so too.
Just making the move in that direction. But it's a really fun game. I do love that it's colorful and fun and quirky, and the music is interesting, and the characters are really silly. But and one of the things that I really appreciated was the boss fights. I had been doing the smaller levels, and the boss fight was such a change of pace that I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm looking to get through the next world or area or whatever you call it. So I'm looking to get through the levels of it just so that I get another boss fight and see what kind of wacky, it was a toaster monster tentacle.
Yeah, the big
thing.
Rotating tower thing.
It was really cool. It was really
inventive.
It was an amazing design. I really, really appreciated it. So I'm looking to get on to the next bosses, basically, to see what else they come up with. So that's been a fun one. But I've been playing quite a few portable games in general. Apart from I jumped back into
mobile games or portable games.
Portable games, as you corrected me earlier, Josh. Because I was looking at my Vita, and as well, similarly, I had recently beaten a couple of games on the Vita, so I finished up SteamWorld Dig, and that had been my go-to game on the Vita. So I was kind of thinking, well, I was starting playing Axiom Verge, and I wasn't convinced that I wanted to play it on Vita, and Elliot made the suggestion that I should play it on the PS TV. So I was thinking to myself, well, if I'm going to have that on one of my Vita memory cards, I might as well make sure that I have all of the non-touch games on the same memory card, so I can put that in my PS TV. And any games that require touch on the Vita, I would put them all onto the other memory card that I had that came with it originally. So things like Uncharted Golden Abyss, you need to use the motion controls and the touch. Gravity Rush, I think you need motion controls, so I think you need to use it too. Severed was another one which requires the touch screen, so if you want to cut through things on it, you have to use the touch screen. And the other one that I had, which actually doesn't necessarily have to be touchscreen, but I figured it was worth throwing on because it might be better on touchscreen, was Danganronpa.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary, but yeah, I can see that.
I don't think you need it, but yeah.
It could be a little more
I would want to
fun.
just play it portable. It's one of those like novel games. So yes.
Exactly. And the thing about it is there's such a cult following for that game. It's meant to be really funny, and really the story's meant to be really good, and it's quirky. And I know that I want to play it at some point, but I just haven't been in the right mindset. and I figure that it might happen on a flight sometime when I've got like a few hours that I have to just waste somehow. So I figured I'd keep that in my Vita the whole time. But this got me thinking, what games do you have to have on your portable system in case you're traveling or whatever? And for me, I'll always bring the Vita. I don't bring the Switch so much, but I'm guessing for you guys, you probably bring the Switch. And what games do you always have installed on your Vita and your Switch so that if you're ever traveling somewhere, you can play them, or you plan to play them?
I usually take my 3DS actually, and I always make sure to have like a long form RPG. So I have like Ocarina of Time always with my 3DS.
Wow.
And like Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yep.
Always with my 3DS. As far as Vita, I tend to just I play a lot of indies on there. So if there's an indie I haven't played yet that I think I could, like, this is what I did with SteamWorld Dig. I just put it on there, and I make sure it's on there before I go, because I'm like, I can play this. This is a Metroidvania. I can start going. But like, I just kind of swap it out with whatever I'm playing, because I think it's because like the memory card on the Vita is so much smaller than all the content I have on it, thanks to PS Plus. Whereas 3DS, I have everything I need for my 3DS on my 3DS, or able to fit in my 3DS case. So I just kind of take it all with me when it comes to that.
Yeah, the 3DS does have the serious advantages there. Well, that was kind of a reason, like the Vita's memory limitations was one of the reasons that I did this chopping and changing, this spring cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure that you guys might actually really appreciate a few of the games that I put on the PS TV one, so the non-touch games.
Yeah.
So just to give you a little taster of it, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Fuck, you haven't finished that. I thought you did.
No, I haven't finished it yet.
Symphony of the Night is awesome. Please beat that and also destroy that, because it's really easy to destroy.
Yeah. I really have to play it, because like Super Castlevania 4 was so much fun.
Oh, that's right. That's a great segue.
And yes, I cheesed it. And no, I couldn't cheese Symphony of the Night in the same way. There's no saves coming. And it's got a pretty robust system. And the fact that I can just sleep the Vita and jump back in at any point,
absolutely,
that is a big difference in a Castlevania game. Even I might make it through a Castlevania game like that. But similar to Castlevania Symphony of the Night being led into by Super Castlevania 4, Axiom Verge.
Yeah.
So Super Metroid, haven't played that this year. That being my inspiration for wanting to play Axiom Verge. I have to do it, and it's such.
Have you tried it with the controller yet?
No, I haven't put it in the PS TV yet. I just literally loaded up all these games last night and thought it would be a fun one to have a chat about. Other games that I have on there, a few smaller games. VVVVVV. Is that how you say it?
I think it's just
V5. It's a really fun game, fun little platformer, quirky indie title. And it only takes up like 40 megs or whatever.
Yeah,
it's totally worth having on.
I never finished it, but it was fun. What I played, it was God, I think I burned myself out on one of the hardest rooms in that game.
Yeah, it's a tough game. I don't know how anyone would finish him, but it's a fun one.
I did.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Elliot,
did you do the room where you got to go up? You got to jump yourself up. I can't remember what it's called. Veni Vidi Vici, I think. You got to go up like 3 floors and then back down 3 floors and then back your way out. That one killed me. I finally did it, but Jesus Christ! After that, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm done."
There's a lot of rooms that killed me, but then like you just die and you restart instantly, so it's easy to just keep going and going and going.
Right.
And also, weirdly for me, I found myself throwing on a couple of fighting games.
Ooh.
Muramasa Rebirth, which I had never even heard of until...
I don't think that's a fighting game. It's an adventure game.
It's like a beat 'em up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like...
Sorry. I don't mean like side-scrolling one-on-one fighting game. I mean, yeah, like a brawler. Would you call it a brawler?
Yeah.
Fighting games like Street Fighter and shit.
Yeah. But it's not really you wouldn't call it a platform game because it's not really platforming, is it?
I think what Josh said, like a side-scrolling.
Because I've played what
beat
the
'em
hell's
up
the
scroll
game with
brawler.
what's the game with the furry you play as?
The furry that you play as? Oh, I know the one that you're thinking of.
The hell's that called?
And we're never gonna remember it.
I'll look it up. Go ahead and start talking.
Ori?
So Muramasa Rebirth, I played a little bit of. I only played against one boss so far. It's a bit repetitive. I like how it controls in ways. In other ways, I'm like, is this basically going to be a side-scrolling brawler version of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker? And I don't mean that in any depth kind of ways. I mean, am I literally going to be playing over the same screen over and over with the same bad guys over and over and over? And I'm going to get bored in the kind of way that, potentially you could get bored of Peace Walker because you're just seeing the same thing, the same sprites over and over. So I might get bored of that pretty quickly, but it was a fun little diversion when I installed it the other day.
It's called Dust and Elysian Tale. That's
Dust and Elysian Tale. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I thought that was Vita, but I guess it's not.
No, I think that's on PS4 actually.
Yeah, it's a PS4 game. I think I might have it on Steam or something. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And the other fighting game, sorry, am I not allowed to call them fighting game? Brawler.
Yeah.
Which is meant to be a lot more technically deep and amazing looking graphics, is Dragon's Crown. And I think it's got a few RPG layers in there as well. It's meant to be a really good game, and I don't think I've played like a kind of isometric brawler like that since way back in the days of Golden Axe or Streets of Rage or whatever.
Well, like I started playing. It's not Dragon's Crown. It's or is it? It's the same genre. Elliot, you might be able to help me out here.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking of.
I started playing that one, and I was like, just was not a fan of
one.
Oh shit! What's it called?
Odin Sphere. That's it.
Oh.
So yeah, Odin Sphere is the one that I played, and I just got bored out of my mind. Everybody was like, "This game is awesome." I was like, "It's a fucking beat 'em up," and I'm not. I don't feel like I'm just not enjoying it. I'm just like, all right, there's not a whole lot of challenge, and any challenge that's there is like it's stuff I'm not used to being a challenge to me, if you will, like timing or I don't know how to put it other than just I was not enjoying myself, if you will.
I thought it looked good. Like I remember when I was living in Japan, my roommate was really into that game and would play like a lot of it. Wait, am I thinking of Odin Sphere or Phantom Brave? I get those two mixed up.
Phantom Brave was like a Disgaea type game, pseudo TRPG. So I'm
thinking of Odin Sphere. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, he played it like I think he like was going for 100% or something like that. He played quite a bit. So I was like, always had it on my radar, but never got to it. And then I saw the remake was coming out, so
yeah,
I figured I'd get that. But
yeah, all right. But I mean, whatever. I mean, it's a beat 'em up game. It's not my favorite genre. I'll play them. I don't know. I don't get a whole lot of satisfaction out of those. But speaking of games, we don't get a whole lot of satisfaction out of. How'd you guys feel about Observer?
I think we've decided to pass on Observer and pick a new roulette game for the roulette we're going to roll for the sake of moving forward with our lives.
Yeah,
it's gotta be done. I'll report back on Observer sometime in the future.
I like to think that I will too, but
yeah. So I was like, I eventually will get back to it. I'm not one that tends to leave things unfinished, but yeah, so far I'm just like, there's no urgency. There's nothing bringing me back going, I need to know how this game fucking ends.
Yeah. So. All right. So since that was Stevo's pick, Stevo, you can pick a new game and then we'll re-roll with that game and with the two that Josh and I picked, which were Cuphead from Josh.
Yeah.
And Rhyme from myself.
Right. So Stevo, you get to pick a new one.
What's it going to be?
Okay. I think I'm going to maybe allow a little bit of input from you lads. in order to pick one. One that sprung to mind, and I have to find out whether A, you both have it, B, you both want to play it. I think if you have both got it and you haven't played it through yet, I think you'd be interested in playing it. And it was Bayonetta, for the first one.
I have played the first one through PS3.
Okay.
I've played about half of the Wii U.
I mean, I'll do it again if you want. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I think I've got another one here for you. And wait, have you played this? The one that I've got for you is Oxenfree.
I have not played it. I have not played Oxenfree.
But I have it on Switch, so I might actually finish this one.
Yeah, I think I have it on Switch as well. So yeah.
And it's meant to have a great little story. It's the story about I'm thinking of Night in the Woods, haven't I?
Have you don't have Night in the Woods. How are you thinking of that?
Oh, because I was about to say it's a coming of age story and the characters are animals and it's about a girl going back home. And then I'm like, no, wait. That's not No Woods. No, Oxenfree is about a girl going back home and seeing her friends, and they go have a picnic on a little island, and then some weird shit starts happening. And I think it's got really interesting dialogue mechanics, and I played the first half hour of it, but I think we
I talked to a friend of mine who had played Night in the Wood, and she was like, "You got to play Oxenfree," and I'm like, "All right, cool, all right, we'll do that." So yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, so you are a little less cautious than the last time out. I know you were both like, "Oh, Observer, what's that?" And it seems like with good reason, but
so I feel good about this.
Yeah, no, I think we're all right. So if we roll a 1, we get Cuphead. If we roll
Cuphead. To be honest, I really want to get Cuphead, even though it would be painful and Elliot will never finish it.
Oh God.
If you roll a 1, we get Cuphead. If we get a 2, we get Oxenfree, and if we get a 3, we get Rhyme. All right.
Wait, no, I'm 3. I'm always 3. Elliot's 2.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Oh, and also, Elliot, are you sure you want Rhyme?
That's what I picked last time.
You picked it last time. It's stuck.
He can change if he likes.
We all have it.
No, we all have it, and it's supposed to be a game. So
what about Bayonetta 2? Do we all have Bayonetta 2?
I do not.
Useless.
I don't have a Wii U.
I'll send you mine after I'm finished playing Bayonetta 2.
All right, we roll a 1, we get Cuphead. We roll a 2, we get Rhyme. We roll a 3, we get Oxenfree. All right?
Oxenfree.
Here we go.
No threes.
Here we go. Woo! Yes!
Oh,
finally, we get to play some fucking Cuphead.
Oh,
yes!
no. Oh, no.
All right.
God, we're going to die.
Oh, we are going to die.
All right, we're going to play some Cuphead here. I know Stevo and I have tried a little bit of the game before by ourselves, or actually in tandem, but I have faith that Elliot will at least attempt the game.
Yes, I will attempt the game. I'm looking forward to it. I've been wanting to play it for some time. I'm not confident in my ability to finish it, but I'm looking forward to it very much.
Is there online multiplayer? I forget, because if so, I'll be happy to help out.
I don't think there is. It's too twitchy. No, there is. Well, no, there isn't. There's local multiplayer, but you can do like the share play. You can do share play with it on NVIDIA cards. But
yeah, there's talk about online multiplayer at a later date, but
yeah,
I guess you could probably do something with like GeForce Experience or something.
Yeah, it's something like that, and it's not great. Like it's pretty It's like finagled.
I'm sure me helping you out will still be better than you playing it on your own, so I'll help you out.
I'll try the first few levels and see how I go.
I picked Cuphead up on Xbox, actually, Xbox One. That means I can install it on PC too, doesn't it?
If you got it on...
Oh, I certainly can. I've just checked it. Woo,
that's awesome. You're the wrong person. Yeah, we can do this shit. Let's be good. We got Cuphead.
And the reason I think it's a good idea to install it on PC is so that I can stream it and look like a total idiot doing so.
Definitely a good game to stream.
Maybe I'll restart my game so that I look really good fighting the first 5-6 bosses and then go downhill straight from there. But all right. We got Cuphead coming up for the next 2 weeks. We've gone through a bunch of crap this past couple weeks. So, Elliot, take us on home.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. In the meantime, you can catch us at our website, ratherbecast.com. And if you're on Twitter, you can see us tweeting quite frequently. We have our own Twitters at RBP Elliot, at RBP Josh, at RBP Stevo, and you can look for official podcast stuff on the podcast Twitter at RBPcast. If you have any questions or any discussion topics you want us to talk about on the show, shoot us an email at questions@ratherbecast.com. We are on YouTube. We're on twitch.tv/ratherbyplaying, where you'll probably see some of our Cuphead streams coming up over the next couple of weeks here.
Oh, hell yeah. And look out for a recent Rocket League stream that myself and Elliot did. It was pretty great. We actually won some games.
Oh, it was a great one.
Elliot had a fantastic own goal.
Yeah.
It was the most amazing own goal ever. I genuinely couldn't believe
Probably my best one.
I did a lot of yelling.
It gets loud, yeah. So volume.
We got to make Tuesday Rocket League a thing.
Yes, we really do. Hashtag
Regular.
my poor neighbors.
Regular. Let's see. Wherever you can find your wherever you like to get your podcasts, we are there. So give us a like, give us a comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and we will hopefully catch you on our streaming channel next.
We love 5 stars, but if you don't give us 5 stars, we won't hate you.
True.
Stevo will hate you. I won't.
That's mostly true. Okay. I think that'll do it for a cast, guys.
All right. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for listening. Cheerio.
Bye now.